Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. And today I'll be discussing my game of Call of War, playing as Persia. So, the map was historical 1939. That meant I had very less units, only 9 of them. Whereas other countries like Germany, UK, US, Japan, etc. started with more than 100 units. So at first, I just made up alliances, and to be quite honest, diplomacy was I would say, one of the only reasons why I survived for so long in this game. So, I first became allied with UK, US, and other members of the Allies coalition. UK declared me as their protectorate, and I was very happy about that because I needed somebody to help me in terms of resources. And I had this very good friend of mine who was also playing in the game. We have been friends since quite a long time. He played as Turkey, so he was my neighbor, and I was very happy about that. Or at least I have one good neighbor. At first, I had actually planned out a coalition between Turkey, me, and nationalist China, but on the very first day itself, China went offline. So, as I mentioned before, I became a protectorate of UK, and I was very, very happy about that. I thought that, okay, now that's my game. I just remain one of the sidelined powers and slowly rise into prominence. But that was not how it was supposed to be. Because Turkey invaded Bulgaria, and Romania invaded Bulgaria at the same time. So the thing was as such: the Turkish Air Force was on its way to bombard Sofia, and Romanian ground forces invaded and captured the city of Varna on the northeastern border between Romania and Bulgaria. Turkey was quite obviously furious. He mentioned his attack quite a few times prior to this attack by the Romanians, but the Romanians didn't give a damn. The Romanian player, who was very confident about winning against Turkey, gave him quite a few ultimatums. One of them that I can recall is, get out of Bulgaria, or else I will be dancing with your head in Constantinople. Or at least it was something like this. Whatever it was, it did anger me and Turkey both. Why me? Well, the last thing I wanted was a European power on my western front threatening to invade me. Because if he can do that to Turkey, he can surely do that to me. Till this point, the Axis power had not really formed. Yes, Germany was very active, and so was Japan and Italy, but they had not really formed a formal alliance. As for the Allies, which I was a part of, the Allies officially had Turkey, the Soviet Union, and the UK in their alliance, and unofficially they had USSR, UK, Turkey, France, South Africa, USA, Brazil, and me. So we had quite a big alliance. I was very, very sure that we would be winning this game. But then Romania finally invaded Turkey, and me and UK got involved. Not militarily, but diplomatically. Well, I tried to solve the matter by telling them to split Bulgaria, whereas the UK had its own method. He encouraged what was known as a peace for 2 or 3 days. So it was just a ceasefire deal. Anything after that can happen, which Turkey happily accepted, and Romania did too, but I knew it was going to turn out really badly later, and it turned out badly later. Turkey and I had some personal conversations in which he said that the UK will surely come if anything happens to him. I wasn't very sure about that because Turkey was something UK would not really care about. Because, anyways, their colonial holdings are far away from Turkey, like they're in Jordan and Palestine, which would not get threatened even if the Axis enter Turkey. The main problem would be Iraq, and I had till then taken Iraq. So he was quite sure, UK I'm referring to, that if anything happens to Turkey, the French will be there for his help. The French and the UK had been fortifying the Maginot Line for very long. And I was deeply concerned by this. Because we were like in medieval times during sieges and wars, there were the cannon fodder, the troops you could waste. Well, we were just that, but in the form of nations. I quickly grew my military power by producing light tanks. They were mobile and they were quite powerful. I had the Axis doctrine, so I also had powerful troops, more powerful than the British. I eventually captured Saudi Arabia, UAE, Bahrain, Kuwait, Qatar, Yemen, North Yemen, and Afghanistan. So I was quite satisfied. I had done this with no real strategy except for the normal one where you just divide your troops into 3 to 4 divisions and they just roll down. Then I invaded Xinjiang. The invasion of Xinjiang was like a domino effect, because after that nationalist China and I went to war right after I finished the Xinjiang conquest. And that was a bit concerning and a bit troubling because I thought nationalist China will of course have some resources, some troops. Meanwhile, things in the West at the same time were not going great. The Axis had invaded Turkey, breaching the peace treaty because Turkey invaded Yugoslavia and Italy wanted a part of it. And right at this time, during this war, a coalition had formed between the Axis powers. It had Poland, surprisingly, Germany, and Italy. Japan did not want to become a part of this anyways because he was at war with Australia and US already. As for me, my nationalist Chinese invasion took quite a long time. Till then, concerns were growing in the West. USA had become very, very powerful. France had gone offline, and UK soon also went offline. As for Germany, I had previously made secret dealings with them where we would have share maps and we would guarantee each other security in the Middle Eastern area. After that, we had split Turkey, and then we eventually also invaded the lands of China together. They wanted to take the eastern part of China, whereas I wanted to take the west. Japan wanted to take the east of China, and he accepted my rule over the western lands, and I was totally fine with it because I was getting what I wanted. But now an issue arose. The issue was that Germany and Japan now started threatening each other with war, which I certainly did not like, because by that time I had actually left the Axis and declared myself as a neutral power, and anything happening on my grounds was considered to be dangerous because, of course, then other nations might join. And if war broke out in eastern China, it would of course come to my lands because Germany was using my territory to enter eastern China. Because of course they lie to west, and nationalist China doesn't have a real coastline where Germany can reach. Well, that's that. I don't know what happened. I actually went to sleep. Till then, they were actually threatening themselves with war. And Germany had also moved quite a lot of units towards the east. And then one morning, I just woke up, and Germany's retreating his units. I don't know if there were any official chats about this. They might have just had private and secret meetings. Whatever it was, the situation on my east was now secure. I successfully invaded Tibet, Bhutan, Mongolia, which resulted in again a domino effect with me going to war with Manchukuo and British India. My British Indian war had been a lot more sophisticated than any other wars, because again British India was actually powerful. They had 73 units, whereas of course I had more than them, but they would cause a lot of damage to my troops. They weren't that advanced, thank God. They had all their units on the northwestern and the northeastern frontiers, which also proved to be troublesome for me. So I divided my units into stacks of 10 or maybe 7 or 6, divided them all across the frontier, and then launched a coordinated attack. Along with that, the most successful thing in this campaign was my surprise attack from the south. I actually successfully passed Indian submarines and had landed 20 units on the southern border. So basically near Madras and Bangalore. Madras and Bangalore both serve as very important cities, and their fall would mean the fall of the whole of India, because again they had a lot of units. Both had around 8 units stationed and in those cities. So that's 16 out of the 70 units, and that's quite a lot. So yeah, my invasion was very successful, and within one day British India was mine. We surrounded Nepal, and then we invaded it too with relative ease. Then, while this was going in the east, in the west something totally unbelievable was taking place. USA had just developed its first few nuclear bombs and launched them right at Japan. Fortunately for Japan, they hit Wake Island and one more island, both of which were practically useless. So USA was now clearly the enemy of all nations, including Germany. They went at war with each other, and USA for some reason declared war at me. I managed to secure peace diplomatically only a few minutes after the war was declared, about 30 or 40 minutes I think. This included a deal where I removed all my spies from USA in return for USA signing a ceasefire deal. And I was quite happy. I did not want to get nuked. So anyways, Germany, Poland and Sweden invaded the USSR, offering me the east, and I quite happily invaded the eastern part of USSR, gaining quite a lot. So by now, till day 20, I actually have 550 victory points. I have 534 provinces. I have 230 units, mostly advanced, level 5 light tanks, level 4 medium tanks, level 3 infantry. I also have level 2 tactical bombers and level 3 these strategic bombers. Along with that, I am developing nukes right now. And that's all that has taken place till day 20. Major events were the Iron Crescent conflict, which refers to the war between Yugoslavia, Turkey, Romania, Germany and Poland. Then the second one was the coalition forces invasion of USSR. Third was the nuclear bombings of Tokyo, Wake Island and one more island in the Pacific. Fourth most important was the German invasion of France, where they breached the Maginot Line and entered France, thus officially dissolving the Allies. That's all for today, and I'll be returning with a video where I'll show you the conclusion of this game. Thank you very much, and I'll meet you another day. Bye bye.